Good evening, everyone. I know it's a little bit late, but I have an important announcement and some interesting material to go through with everyone tonight. And big announcement for everyone in Kawartha Lakes and, of course, surrounding area. If you'd like to come and support tomorrow night in Kawartha Lakes, they will be doing an open meeting on the Kawartha Lakes strategic plan for 2024-2027. This is a draft, and I received a call today that there will be at least 6 people going in to speak to the strategic plan document tomorrow night. And I dug into it today and got inspired, and I'm going to do a deputation in Kawartha Lakes on the strategic plan tomorrow night as well. So I'll take you to their page and give you the details on that. And then if you want to stick around here with me, I'm going to run through how I prepared for the deputation. And hopefully that can give you an idea of how I do this. And you can take that information and try some of the suggestions or do it your way and figure out what works for you. But we are finding to get results with this, with directing our energy into focusing on local issues and what's happening in our local town halls. We do find that that is where the global agenda is being implemented, and that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So with that, just again, tomorrow night, deputations will be taking place in Kawartha. I'm going to share my screen and you can get the details for that. And this is the first spot where I went to find out about the strategic plan and to begin my research and preparation for doing a deputation tomorrow night. So let's go to the Kawartha Lakes page here. And I'll just make sure that, yeah, you guys can see that. Wonderful. Okay, so public consultation extended to February 23rd. And here we see that to facilitate further discussion, Council is hosting an evening meeting on Thursday, February 15th in Council Chambers. So this is located at City Hall, 26 Francis Street in Lindsay. The session will begin with the staff providing a brief overview of the draft strategic plan and followed by time for deputations and correspondence from committees and the public. Okay, so this is our chance to share our thoughts on this. So here we will also find a link to the strategic plan just right down here on the right-hand side, strategic plan library, draft Kawartha Lake strategic plan. I like to print it out. Personally, I like to make notes on it. So that's what I do. I print out the strategic plan. And then, so I'm going to take you to that strategic plan now. Let me just switch my screen. We'll go to that strategic plan. Okay, so it's a 15-page document, including the title page here. Now, what I do, like I said, I print it out and I flip through the pages and I make notes. So I read through the document and anything that jumps out at me, any thoughts that I have, I make note of. So I made note of their mission, really having a focus on municipal service and upholding their commitment towards a sustainable future. Here we go, under their mission. And I also saw down here under respect, I made a note that that according to their values, they're open to listening actively to better understand other people's perspectives. So I pulled that into my wording for the deputation. Now on the next page, we see this fancy little graph. This is very similar to other documents that are based on the United Nations framework for sustainable development, very much about the environment, as well as economy and social issues. So they kind of sometimes put it in three circles. Here they did it a little differently, but you can see there that I noted that good government was in there under their strategic priorities. I also noted where it talks about service excellence, that in fact, the reality is that our services are being cut off in the majority of the geographical regions of our quote unquote municipalities. Also fiscal responsibility in Kawartha Lakes, they are quite in debt. So they have gone against the Municipal Act and acquired debt. And I'm not going to be speaking to that myself, but I'm sure somebody will be there who will. And also, I made a note about this partner and collaborate wording here, and just who are they partnering with and collaborating with is my question. So moving down the page here, made a few notes on this one. What I note is that the environment is listed first and good government is last. And for each of the goals, they're going to have action items. So this is important to note. You know, each goal has action items, and they state here that they can't do this alone. It requires action and support and involvement from others. So they need us to be on board with this. And that's why they do so much public awareness and education around sustainable development, because they want us to like those words and to go for these kinds of strategic plans without question. All right, so next page. Reporting and measuring. I did make some notes on, yeah, I made quite a few notes on that page, but that's okay. I'm going to, my pages got mixed around here. Shoot. Okay, healthy environment is the first one. So I'm going to focus on this. This is more my area of expertise and knowledge. So I'm with only 5 minutes. You can only pick so much. I did make notes on many different things on the 12. They have 12 goals altogether. And I'm going to focus on this one in the healthy environment section, which states support environmental sustainability and resilience in our community. And how will they make this happen? Reduce greenhouse gases and our carbon footprint, encourage active transportation. And I made a note that another way to write that would be to discourage private automobile use, implement our transition to a green municipal fleet. So they want all the vehicles of the municipality to be green or electric, and to better prepare, respond, recover, and adapt to a more unpredictable climate and weather events. And it reminded me of Councillor Pat Warren's comment when we were there a few months ago, and she stated that one day rivers, atmospheric rivers, will fall from the sky or something to that effect, and cause flooding. So I'm going to personalize this a little bit and bring that quote in. And so then I'm going to jump through. There's a lot in that plan, and I'm sure that people will be speaking to these issues. Like I said, I have 5 minutes, but I'm just going to go down to their section on good government. Here we are. And of course, here it's all about just efficient service delivery for a better customer experience. I didn't know we were their customers. I thought we were their constituents. So, and the people that elected them to serve in government. But according to them, good government has to do with efficient service delivery for better customer experiences. Anyways, so that was interesting. So I will be pointing out some principles of good government and make reference to these things in my deputation. So that's what I initially do. I flip through that. And of course, they're going to be measuring and reporting. And this is where the financial cost to the taxpayer comes in. It costs money to evaluate the progress of these goals, as well as, of course, upgrading an entire municipal fleet to green vehicles or electric vehicles. And so I will be touching on the cost and the harm of implementing this strategic plan tomorrow night. All right, so I'm going to switch the screen. Feel free to comment if you have any questions about how I go about doing deputations. And again, for those just joining, there will be an open meeting tomorrow night at the City of Kawartha Lakes City Hall, 26 Francis Street. And as far as I know, 6 people are planning on doing deputations. And apparently I'm going to do one too. So couldn't help it. So I'm going to take you to the next part of my process here. So after I create my notes, I have all of this written out here. There it is. Sorry, I missed my, there we go. So I review the plan, I make notes, and then what I do is I grab my phone. It has a notes app in it, and I find it easier to auto dictate as I'm reviewing the notes that I made on the back of the strategic plan. So like I said, as I'm going through the strategic plan here, let me show you a bit better here. As I'm going through the strategic plan, I'm making notes on the points that jump out to me. And then I will take those notes and I will input them through auto dictate into a note on my phone. And then I will print that out. So I have some text that I'm working with, and then I'll start brainstorming the most effective way to go about this deputation. And I'm going to take you to a really useful guide that Jean Belfour put together. And it is on my website, Gather 2030. So I'll just take you there. Advice on council deputations. And this is Jean Belfour. There's a video of him here doing a deputation on energy security versus climate change. And he has a process that is very professional, and I think it gets better results with deputations. So he goes through the steps from contacting your city clerk. Now tomorrow night, if you get there on time, so a little bit early before the sign up closes, you can just put your name on the sheet and sign up. But in most cases, you need to apply online through the city website ahead of time. So you can do that. And then it's always good to submit your documents ahead of time if you have any that you would like to bring to the council's attention. In this case, we have 5 minutes. There's always a time limit attached to the deputation. So you need to know what your time limit is when you're preparing for these delegations. Jean recommends for a 5-minute delegation about 500 words, so 100 words per minute. And that way you're not rushing through the presentation. And he always starts off with, thank you for hearing me today, or a thank you to the mayor and council, and then stating your purpose for the delegation, the deputation. And he notes that objection is a key word that dignifies that you want to be taken seriously. So, so in my case, I will be objecting to let me just get my printed notes here on my wording. I will be objecting to the strategic plans, to the origin of the strategic plan, the basis upon which it is founded, and the implementation of the plan. So I will be using that word objection. You're stating your purpose. Then you provide supporting context. and then you give a specific proposal. So you want the counselors to know what you consider to be an actionable item within their limits of authority. So you need to make sure that it's practical. You're giving them an actionable item that you want them to consider, and it has to be within their authority. You also want to list the benefits of your proposal. If you don't spell this out, don't assume that they will just come up with the benefits of your proposal on their own. And after your deputation, the counselors may have questions, and it's important to note to follow up with your ward counselors or ask for, in my case, I'll be asking for a response in writing by a certain time to the questions and requests that I will be making. Now, Jean Balfour is from the Kawartha Lakes region, and he is the co-founder of Advocates for a Civil Society, and he has a really good Substack called My Life Lens, and very prolific writer. So thank you, Jean, for that information. So next, so that's what I did. I had lots of different ideas on which direction I could take this with this strategic plan. And I had to pick one and go for that. I kind of put a couple, I'm going to address like where the strategic plan came from, the basis of this, of the reasoning for this kind of strategic plan, and the potential harm of implementing this strategic plan. And then I'm going to point out some principles of good government that I think are missing from both the drafting of this plan and the potential implementation of the plan. All right, so we'll stop that screen share. And so what I do then, so once I have taken the words and the notes and moved them into their proper places and expanded on those thoughts, I will put that through an editor like Grammarly. It's an app that I have, and it basically just does a quick edit of the entire document for me. And then I will put that into another app called Big View, and I'm not being sponsored by either of these. These are just the ones that I found that have helped me. And Big View is basically like a teleprompter app, and that automatically tells me how long it will take me to read, and that's really helpful. And then I can also practice doing the deputation that way. So that's great. And then because I'm asking for specific things, I make that clear in the layout of my deputation. So I will be requesting certain motions be made, and I will be posing certain questions. So those questions and those requests for motions will be written out on a separate document and submitted so that the counselors have it in front of them while I'm speaking, so that it's really clear what I'm asking for. I will also be requesting that they, for instance, I will be speaking to the origin of the strategic plan and how it is, it comes from the municipal primer, and to help them get this around their heads, if that might not be a nice way of saying it, but to help them to practically understand what I'm trying to say with that, I will be sending them a link to this 40-page document, but I will be providing page 9 of the document and requesting that a motion be made that the mayor, council, clerks, and CAO review page 9 of this document, because they will find a flow chart on how Agenda 21 is being implemented through Canadian municipalities. Okay, so we're not just saying there's a conspiracy out there, guys, and we think this. We're like, you guys, this is the document that the Federation of Canadian Municipalities sent you in 1994. Okay, that was a long time ago. You might not know this, but your strategic plan is a regurgitation of this document. And could you at least look at this one page in the document so that you can see how Agenda 21 is being implemented at the local level? So that will be one request. So I will provide this in an email, and I will provide this in my package. So they will get the page with my requests and questions and my email to respond to me, and they will get this page as well. I will also be providing them with page 3 of the Declaration on Climate Change. Oh, dear God. I know I took it out. They're probably here. I'm covered in papers today, guys. I'm back in my mode. All right, hold on. Anyway, there is a declaration. I'll show it to you here. I'm going to just present it. And this is even better. Huh, I had the tab open for it. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Good. Okay, sorry. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but this came out in 2023. It is a World Climate Declaration stating that there is no climate change emergency. It was signed by 1,609 signatories, and it was done by the Global Climate Intelligence Group. Now, all the signatories are in the document, and if you look, they're all very much, physicists, geologists, climate scientists, various scientists within the natural science, the ecological and natural sciences. And in here, I will be referring them to this document and asking them to read page 3 of this document. So I will provide this document and a link to this larger document. So I want them to read this because I'm going to just summarize the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 7 points that these scientists agreed as their reasoning for making this declaration that there is no climate change emergency. Really good points in there, and really important, in contrast with outdated reasoning behind these strategic plans and that are referenced in the municipal primer. So that's a 30-year-old document. This isn't even a year old. So when it comes to science, we want current scientific theories to be the basis of the plans that we put forward for strategic development in our communities. Okay, so what's my next step here? Did I lose it? So like I said, I put it into the big view onto the teleprompter and I start running through it. I make sure it sounds good. I prepare a document, like an information package to physically give them and an information package to email them with the larger documents. And I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. But that's basically how I prep for these deputations. Lastly, I will be touching on the good government aspect as well. And I will be referring to a new document that was independently authored and sponsored by Civis for Reform. It is a statement on principles and the rights of persons and the duties of government. And I will be asking the council, I will be making a request for a motion that council and mayor and council review that 3-page document and respond through email whether or not they are in agreement with those principles. And the document is so well written. You know, I do not believe that any civilized public servant in the 21st century could ever say that they disagree with those principles, but we do want to get it on record, whether or not they do or they don't. So I think that's basically my rundown of how I prepped for that. And I did just want to get this out there. I'm sorry for late notice for people in Kawartha for coming to the meeting tomorrow night. I really hope that we can get quite a few people out to support not only myself, but the 6 and probably more people that will be speaking to the strategic plan. When it comes to this kind of work, you know, strategic plans, official plans, they are documents that really align with the message that the global agenda is being implemented at the local level. And we can show really direct links between the strategic plans and the municipal primer, which is a document put forward from the United Nations, essentially. They did it through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, but even if you look at their website, it's just filled with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And it's really easy to make those connections. So with that, guys, looking forward to seeing people tomorrow night in Kawartha. And I will be in Ottawa on Saturday, 2 o'clock. I'll be speaking up on the stage around that time. So I can't wait to see everyone. It's just going to be a great gathering of people from all across the country. I know that there's people coming from west, east, everywhere. And can't wait to meet some people in person for the first time. And just, yeah, continue to share ideas and keep moving forward. So, yeah, lastly, I haven't announced this yet. I do not know if I'm going to go forward 100%. I'm very spontaneous when it comes to this stuff. I have to have the energy and have the inspiration, but it is quite potentially, I will be speaking in the Niagara region at a council meeting in Thorold next week. So February the 20th in the evening in Thorold. And they are looking to re-enter or renew their partnership with their climate partners. And it's been put out to me that a deputation would be very useful. Now, that said, if you're in that area and you would like to do a deputation like this and work with a couple people down there, we should reach out to me, and I can give you more information on that. And I would go to that meeting anyway, because one of the counselors will be putting forward a motion to not re-enter this agreement with the climate partners. And he will be asking specific questions. And so we want to go out there and support the councillor, of course. So again, that's Thorold on the 20th, and that's in the Niagara region. So deputations, you guys, this is the time to sign up. You probably, we probably need to get our application to speak in within the next day or two. So it doesn't hurt to put the deputation application in. You can always cancel. But you can't, if you miss the date and you don't get it in, then you cannot speak. So I guess I'll be doing that first thing tomorrow morning just to make sure it's done and in. Okay, well, I wanted to make this quick. Thank you all for watching, and I don't see any comments. That's okay. Much love, guys. Have a good night. And please share this out, especially in the Kawartha area. So we want to get the word out. Okay, much love, everyone. Have a great night.